So what does the biggest update in Diablo Immortal history even look like? We're going to look at that right now in this dev video update. There's a lot to unpack, and there's actually a lot of sneak peeks and clarifications that they don't necessarily expand on, but after watching this several times, I did pick up on it, and I want to share some of these updates with you. So let's jump straight into the guys. We're going to watch this from the beginning. I'm going to pause it throughout to really expand on some of the points they bring up, because like I said, some of it's sprinkled in there, so you're going to want to watch this to the very end to make sure you don't miss a beat for this update, because again, they're calling this the biggest update ever in Diablo Immortal. All right, put the headphones on. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Scott Burgess, lead designer on Diablo Immortal.
And I'm Ryan Quinn, senior narrative designer on the Immortal team.
Pause. I like both of these guys. Fun fact, he is actually very funny, and he has been in a lot of different Diablo Immortal stuff already. They both bring a lot of different aspects to the game, to life. Like I said, he's sort of funny. He has the lore. I think as a combination, I think these guys should do this more often together. I really like these two as sort of a team with these sort of updates.
As the nights grow longer, we enter the holiday season in the world of Sanctuary. But we want to remind you, 'tis always the season for slaying demons.
Always.
And we have a Brumaltine present for all of you. Our next major update, Splintered Souls.
Let's jump
I'm hyped.
right into
I'm so
it.
hyped.
We'll start with our new zone.
Diablo.
I usually don't get hyped for new zones, but I'm literally hyped for everything about this update. Like, I could not be more excited.
Immortal's newest zone is the Southern Dreadlands, a place we've wanted to visit since the early development of Diablo 3.
The Dreadlands are the heart of Immortal's story. When Tyrael, the Archangel of Justice, destroyed the corrupted World Stone, Mount Ariat crumbled, and ash rained down for days. In Splintered Souls, we'll head to the Southern Dreadlands, an apocalyptic plane transformed by that event.
I mean, I know it wasn't like a massive peek at it, but it looks really sick. And I'm not one for lore, but they do a great job explaining this to a community that doesn't necessarily explain the lore or like know the lore. So shout out for them for that. I feel like I am up to date on what this is offering in terms of the lore.
After you descended into Tristram Cathedral, the Lord of Terror closed his claws around the largest shard of the World Stone. And its power is right now speeding his rebirth. To have a hope of stopping Diablo, you and Tyrael will search the shattered north for the angelic sword of justice.
Whoa. What was that skin? We don't have that yet. That is a sick skin.
The angelic sword of justice.
That is a sick looking skin. The little arm coming off the back and then like the shoulder. Oh, is that? Like, there's no way it's a battle pass skin. That's got to be one of those $170 skins. Oh god.
Justice, El Druid. On your hunt,
El
you'll
Druid.
explore twisting ravines left over from Ariat's collapse. You'll also delve into the Gully of Madness, a surreal landscape transformed by the World Stone's destruction, and the harbinger of a new cataclysm for this land.
Cataclysm.
The Southern Dreadlands are subject to horrifying red storms that carry tiny splinters of destroyed Worldstone. When a storm passes through a settlement, it either cuts the inhabitants to pieces or transforms them into Shardborn. Monsters driven to kill by visions of endless
Another sick looking skin. Pause. Look at it. Looks sick.
terror. Diablo's servants are ravaging the north, along with insects and bees twisted by the power of creation. Imagine bugs with necks. It's the very thing that haunts my nightmares.
They're so gross, but I love them. You'll protect the wilds of the Dreadlands from horrifying monsters in a new zone event. A more mobile...
Right there. Did you hear it? In a new zone event. So this tells us exactly where you find this new event.
Inverted tower defense scenario.
Inverted tower defense scenario. Don't know what that means. So a tower defense scenario would be where you're defending the towers. An inverted tower defense scenario could mean where you are attacking said towers. I don't think that's what it is. I think it was just an interesting choice of words there. But it is a, they said it right here in the beginning.
Wilds of the Dreadlands from horrifying monsters in a new zone event.
New zone event. So that means it will be on a sort of random schedule similar to other zone events that go on in the game. This will not be a true event where you see it on the calendar. So keep that in mind. It is probably going to be a smaller scale. It's very similar to probably the other tower defense that we already have in Stormkeep, but it seems like this one is a little bit more put together from what I could tell from the video. But it is a location event, so keep that in mind.
A more mobile, inverted tower defense scenario. But there's only one real shelter left in this sad land. The great city of Stallbreak, last hope for scores of northern refugees. The cruel laird who controls Stallbreak is quite particular about who he lets through the gates. And a huge encampment, the Grey Wards, is right now forming outside the city, where people beg for access and plot revolution.
Viva Laird. Right?
No, it's Viva down with Laird.
I'm on Laird's team.
That's
Diablo's eyes are upon you more and
I felt like that was actually genuine. Like some of the jokes in these are usually like pretty staged, but that actually seemed a little genuine.
more every day. And your mission to find Eldruin is tied to the fate of the North and its people.
don't screw it up.
I never do, Ryan. The exciting thing about fighting through the Dreadlands
That was probably scripted.
is you won't have to do it alone.
That's right. To help with your demon slaying, we're introducing familiars.
All right. Before we get into the pets, they talk, and I'm going to do what I've been doing, which is like pausing, talk about it, rewind, all that. Because honestly, there's parts in here where it tells us exactly what we're going to be getting and how we can get them. So pay attention.
To Diablo Immortal. And to tell you more about them, our comrades in arms, Emil and John.
Hello, I'm John Yu, principal designer on the Immortal team.
And I'm Emil Salim, lead artist on Diablo Immortal. We are so excited to talk to you about Familiars, a brand new feature in the game that revolves around companions that will aid you in Sanctuary.
Familiars are loyal allies that support players in battle to help combat the minions of hell. They also provide additional bonuses, with some even offering cool utility options to players.
What kind of utility options are I talking about? Can they grab me a cup of coffee
Listen
while
carefully.
I'm in the middle of fighting a boss?
Not quite. But some rare familiars can provide convenience features, like being able to salvage or identify items without having to return to town.
All right. Some rare familiars. So keep that in mind. He uses this phrase in a few minutes when he talks about the evolution of the familiars or the pets. So there, according to the patch notes, which we're going to cover and sort of break this all down in multiple different videos because there's a lot to uncover with this truly being the biggest update to come to Diablo Immortal. But it talks about how there's going to be 8 familiars or 8 pets that are introduced. They show us 5, and there's 3 more that we'll find out about probably next week or whatever. But rare pets, rare familiars have the some rare familiars have the ability of doing these things. Okay, keep that in mind.
There will be several familiars launching with the upcoming patch.
Several is 8.
2 of these are the Dust Prowler and the Varrock.
So again, we're only covering 2 so far, but listen.
The Dust Prowler is a capricious, spiritual cat-like being that is said to escort the dead to lands beyond.
A creature that drags hopeless souls to hell? That sounds a lot like my boss. In combat, the Dust Prowler absorbs harmful effects by enemies to protect their masters.
The Varrock is another familiar we are releasing. It resembles a magical elk. There is a tree-dwelling spirit said to watch over travelers who pass through their forest. All they require in tribute are the souls of wayward folk who have lost their will to live.
Now that definitely sounds like my boss.
They are going to see this video.
Oh, shoot. Quick, talk about how the art for familiars came together.
When visualizing the familiars, the art team took
That looks sick. Pause, by the way.
inspiration from multiple mythological creatures from all around the world. We also try to add some personality to their backstories, like the Dust Prowler is meant to look more mischievous, while the Varrock is more elegant and mysterious.
Listen.
Familiars have a great deal of progression tied to them, with the ability to be upgraded and evolved. Through the evolution of familiars, players can discover more powerful and rare versions.
More powerful and rare versions. So, what does that mean? Likely, in order to get those special talents or special abilities, we'll call them, to be able to salvage gear with their pets, you're going to have to probably level them up to the max level. So that we saw in all the pictures, there's, 3 different evolutions. There's a small, medium, and a large. likely going to need to get them to large, which means in order to figure out which one's which, we're going to have to really grind them, hopefully grind and not pay, be able to get to their highest level to figure out which one is which. Hopefully they will all be the same, or it could be totally random, which could add a lot of, well, different challenges to the game. So we're going to be grinding a lot. We're going to try to figure this out. We're going to be also covering all of the different pet stuff as soon as it comes out, and as soon as it's if we figure out that it's grindable, we will be grinding it very, very, very heavily in order to figure this out and bring you guys content. If that is exciting to you, make sure you smash the subscribe button, guys, because I could not be any more excited about this update. I'm looking forward to covering all of it and so much more, and bring you guys all the best tips and tricks on how to min-max your pets and get the most out of them. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like the video. Let's get back to it.
That will unlock unique skills and abilities.
Unique skills and
That
abilities.
does it for us here. There's a lot more information to come. Stay up to date by following our social channels.
We want to wish you all a happy holiday season. 2023 has been an absolutely massive year for Diablo Immortal, and we are so excited for all the new adventures to come in 2024.
All right, so coming mid-December in the patch notes, which we'll cover very soon, it does say it comes out on the 14th. Now, it does say we'll get more information on the 12th, which is literally a week from today. So that's very exciting. So we're going to cover all of the different detailed patch notes in detail, well, in the next coming days. Because honestly, guys, there's so much content to cover in these patch notes and this video. I wanted to break it all up so I didn't have like a 30-minute video. I really want to give each individual section the attention it needs. So if you want to see the next set of the patch notes and have my opinions on how I break it down and how you can best prepare, make sure you subscribe, like the video, guys. Until next time, lock it in.